Hi, this is Tim, and our Teamviewer video just hit 100,000 views. And while it's great to see another video hit 100,000 views, there's a small problem with it that needs addressed. So at the end of that video, I say,
next one, we will either test connecting to another PC on the remote network or maybe an Allen Bradley Automation Director or Redline Ethernet device.
And that was 4 years ago, and the second video never came out. At first I thought it was an issue with something I was doing that I couldn't quite get it right. But then I realized that there's a problem with Teamviewer's VPN that really makes it not a commercially viable solution for remote troubleshooting. So here's what we had hoped to be able to do with our Teamviewer VPN. We have a remote system and it has a PLC on it, and we're just arbitrarily going to say its IP address is 192.168.1.10 with a default gateway of 192.168.1.1. Now that default gateway would be your internet router, and that's what we're showing right here. So this is your cable router or however you're getting to the internet. And the goal would be to take a PC that doesn't even have the PLC programming software on it and stick it onto this network and then Teamviewer into it. So I would be out here on the internet, and I just threw it in here that my IP address would be 192.168.0.1. I'd go out on the internet, come back in over Teamviewer's VPN to this laptop, and be able to connect via my PLC programming software and troubleshoot this machine. I described in that 100,000 view video how to configure Teamviewer to do this. So the way it ends up working is you end up assigning an IP address for the VPN. Such here as I've got 11.11.11.12. And I just threw these numbers at this just for this diagram. And then we can VPN over here to 11.11.11.1. And as I show in that previous video, they have you add something to the routing table to route traffic that's coming from this 11.11.11.2 out here on the internet to this 192.168.1.10. But here's the problem with it, is when it is routing packets like this, it doesn't change the IP address of them. So these packets that are coming over the internet to our local laptop and then getting forwarded onto our PLC are coming from this 11.11.11.2. Now this is not an Ethernet class by any means. This is a layman's thing I'm explaining here. But what happens here is this PLC, it's 192.168.1.10, and typically it'd have a subnet of 255.255.255.0. All that means is that it only is going to communicate with things that start with 192.168.1. And then that last digit can be any number between 1 and 254. But here's the issue, is that packet came across as 11.11.11.2. So when this PLC goes to reply, it sends it to the default gateway. So instead of coming back across to our local laptop, it goes to our internet router and tries to go back out this way, and the packets get lost. So the only way to make your Teamviewer VPN work successfully would be to change your default gateway to the IP address of this laptop that's running the Teamviewer VPN. Now, if we could get in there to change that default gateway, well, then we already have access to the machine and we don't need Teamviewer's VPN. So as a VPN to go in and troubleshoot machines, Teamviewer's VPN does not work. Now what some of the other VPNs I've seen do almost the same thing. We've got our 11.11.11.2 and we've got it over here signed into 11.11.11.1, but then they acquire a second IP address and they actually send the packets as that second IP address. So in this case, it would route it as 192.168.1.12. And so then when they come out here, they go to the PLC, first three optics match, so it's going to go right back over here and it works perfectly. So those options are out there. I have not evaluated them thoroughly enough to really make a recommendation, but I can tell you that the Teamviewer option didn't work. And because of this, Teamviewer's VPN is not a viable option for remotely troubleshooting machines. Actually, it's not that they're not a viable option. It's that there are plenty of other options out there that probably work a little better. Now, why has it taken me 4 years to actually say this? Well, there's two reasons. One, I kind of thought eventually Teamviewer would fix this or improve it, but best I can tell, it still has this issue. The other thing is that Teamviewer has changed their licensing model. Used to, you could download their software, and if you were using it for commercial purposes, you should pay them. And if you were using it for personal use, you could use it for free. And that kind of fits along with my motto that you should only pay for software when you absolutely need the software. So what Teamviewer has done now is they are really starting to get rid of the free versions. So now I'm getting emails from people saying, hey, I've been using this software and it keeps telling me that I've got to buy a commercial license, but I can't get it to work. Well, yeah, I mean, right now the way Teamviewer is working is whether their software works or not, you've got to pay for it. And I would say, just judging by the way they're going, their free personal use one is going to go away before too long. So that doesn't fit with my motto of only buying software once you need it. And there are plenty of free options out there if all you're trying to do is remote into a PC. The one I actually use most is Google Chrome. It has a remote desktop built into it. I'll put a link to how to get to it in the description. Also, Microsoft has a built-in remote desktop. You can use it. But Teamviewer really has zero advantage over these without the VPN as far as troubleshooting machines. Because we're still going to have the programming software on the PC at the plant. So at that point, we could use Chrome, we could use Microsoft Remote Desktop, we could use tons of others. So let's all play fair, just like Teamviewer says. If you have not paid for Teamviewer, then uninstall it off of your PC. That is the right thing to do, and look at, personally, I like the Google Chrome Remote Desktop. There's nothing wrong with the Microsoft Remote Desktop either. And there are tons of others. Just Google them. Till next time.
Hi, this is Tim.
And this is Amber of TW Controls.
We run the automation store.
Be sure to subscribe for more great videos.
And like this video and comment on what you would like to see next.
Visit our website where we offer a full line of PLCs, simulators, control panels, PLC trainers, and more.